Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Battle Stadium singles video here on iStarly TV, part of my Road to Master series where I try to climb the online ranked Battle Stadium singles ladder. Today I have a brand new team that I built focusing on Palafin. So I really wanted to use Palafin. I really like Palafin a lot. It's a really cool Pokemon. Honestly, one of my favorite Pokemon design-wise from the new generation. And you know, both of its forms. So I really wanted to use it, and for some reason I just got the itch to build a team with it recently, and so I threw together a team on Showdown, tried to build around Palafin to, you know, take advantage of its strengths and kind of complement whatever weaknesses it has. And I tested it on Showdown and it was actually doing pretty decently for me, so I definitely felt like I should bring it here to show it in game. As you can see, we have a team code here as well, so if you like what you see with the team, you can definitely try it out yourself. Also, please let me know if you do try it out, let me know how it does for you. But anyways, started with Palafin. It's Choice Band, Adamant Nature, 3 water moves. I mean, the main goal with this Pokemon is to hit really hard. Obviously, what that means is you're going to want to lead with Palafin a lot of the time, and then switch out immediately, either with Flip Turn on something slower, or just hard switch. And then later on, when you go back into Palafin, you are a super strong Pokemon. You hit really hard, but obviously the downside is that you have to switch right away. So to do that, I kind of complemented it with some Pokemon that I thought would be decent at taking hits from Palafin's weaknesses, and also Pokemon that can kind of slow other Pokemon down, such as something like Grimmsnarl. So that's kind of why you see some interesting choices on this team. Grimmsnarl's mainly here to, again, trick opposing Pokemon the Lagging Tail, and then it also has Parting Shot to kind of let Palafin switch in a little more safely. I've got an Iron Moth, a new Iron Moth set. It's still Terra Grass. I added Discharge instead of Energy Ball, which Iron Moth really struggles from the kind of 4 move slot syndrome, where it has like maybe 5 or 6 moves that it wants to use, but only 4 slots. So I thought Discharge would be good at hitting certain things that can affect Palafin, but also certain things that Iron Moth typically struggles with, such as opposing Iron Moths and Skeledirge. So I just thought that that was my best bet for that. The set for Iron Moth is also really unique. I mean, maybe not really unique, but I kind of built it so that I could get a speed boost with booster energy, which means that I'm not running any special attack investment, and I'm running just enough speed investment to make my speed stat the highest stat, so I will get the speed boost. Then I'm running max HP, and then the rest of the EVs are in special defense. So this is a bulky Iron Moth set. Of course, we get the booster energy speed boost, and then with Fiery Dance we have the chance to boost our special attack, so we can still be a pretty prominent sweeper. Then I have bulky Scizor. This is my beautiful shiny Scizor that I've shown off in previous videos, but I re-EV'd it and I gave it Trailblaze instead of Pounce, and this is actually just max HP and max special defense to help me deal with other strong special attackers such as Iron Moth, Flutter Mane, etc. There's a lot of really good special attackers in the meta now, and Scizor just felt like a great Pokemon to help take those on. It also helps me against a Pokemon like Iron Bundle. If I don't Terrasilize, then I just take neutral damage from its moves, from its water type moves at least, and I should take those hits really well because of my bulk. And I did calc it, and even with 0 attack EVs, Bullet Punch still, and a Careful Nature, not an Adamant Nature, Bullet Punch still one-hit KOs Flutter Mane, so that's how weak Flutter Mane is from the defensive side. So I thought that that would work really well for me. Then I have Hydreigon. Hydreigon serves a really unique role on this team. You know, it's a Pokemon you don't really see that often anymore, and the purpose of it really is to take hits from Palafin's weaknesses. So I can lead with Palafin, for example, and then switch into something else, such as Hydreigon, who can take electric and grass type moves that Palafin is weak to, and can also switch into ground type moves that Iron Moth is weak to. So Hydreigon's pretty good now. I mean, or it's pretty good still. The thing about that is, you know, a Pokemon that typically uses ground type moves such as Great Tusk also has fighting type moves, and I'm weak to fighting whether I Terrasilize or not with Hydreigon, so that's a scary one, but you know, if I can predict correctly, then we can kind of get the jump on that. Finally, I have Flutter Mane, which is Focus Sash. This is a new Flutter Mane, not the typical one I was running. Max special attack, max speed, timid nature with Focus Sash I thought would be pretty good. I mean, Flutter Mane's just a great Pokemon. Pretty typical moveset though. Now, one little tidbit about this team, well, actually before I get to that, the Flutter Mane is Terra Ghost. I'm going to be completely honest here. That is what I caught it as, and I didn't have enough normal Terra shards. I wanted to make it Terra normal. Another good Terra type for it is Terra Fire or even Terra Fairy. I think Ghost is the 4th most used Terra type for Flutter Mane, and it's not even that highly used, but either way, I felt like because it's Focus Sash, my goal with this Flutter Mane is not necessarily to sweep, it's just really to kind of take some hits from, or take a hit from something and then deal a lot of damage right back to them. So I thought that going Terra Ghost could help me. It'll boost the power of my Shadow Balls. But also I didn't feel like I would be terastallizing Flutter Mane quite as often as some of the other Pokemon on this team. If you notice, I mean, Terra Water on Palafin makes its water moves hit even harder. Terra Water for Scizor is a defensive Terra type, which really helps cover its weaknesses. Same is true for Terra Grass on Iron Moth, and then Terra Steel on Hydreigon is offensive and defensive. So we have 4 Pokemon that we would rather terastallize. So I'm just gonna see how it goes with the Terra Ghost Flutter Mane. Maybe that'll end up haunting me later because I didn't change its Terra type rather. But anyways, one little fun fact about this team, as you will soon find out, and this was not explicitly planned. I built this team on Showdown, and then I just kind of happened to have these Pokemon. Every single Pokemon on this team except for Grimmsnarl is shiny, so I get to show off some beautiful shiny Pokemon. I shiny hunted Iron Moth this past week. It took a little while. It's kind of hard to shiny hunt Iron Moth because it's pretty hard to tell the difference. The only difference is that the tips of its wings are silver rather than red, and then like the horns or whatever they're called on its head are also silver instead of red. Everything else looks the same on it. But either way, all these Pokemon are shiny except Grimmsnarl. Let's see how they do, and particularly let's see how my Palafin does. Game 1, my opponent has a Drifblim, which is never a good sign, especially since we don't have Skeledirge. Drifblim typically sets up like minimizes and then baton pass, so it's gonna be really obnoxious, to be quite honest. Let's see. Grimmsnarl seems decent here. Yeah, I actually think Grimmsnarl seems pretty solid against a lot of my opponent's team. The issue though is if they're gonna have Spore with their Brute Bonnet. Brute Bonnet's definitely a scary one. Okay, the main question here that I will typically be asking, do I want to bring Palafin? Unfortunately, I don't think I do. They have a lot of Pokemon that resist Palafin's moves. And yeah, I don't think that's a great option for me. This is not a surprise, but Iron Moth looks pretty solid here, right? I really need to make a decision though, because the rest of my Pokemon are looking decent. Flutter Mane is nice with the Focus Sash. Really, I'm just scared of that Drifblim. I'm not. Maybe I just lead with Flutter Mane. I think I want to lead Flutter Mane, and then I definitely want to bring Moth just because it's really good. From there, these 2 Pokemon are going to be scared of that Azumarill. So I think I'm going to bring Scizor in that case. It's not amazing. Like, Scizor is not an amazing check or counter to Azumarill, but at least it can hopefully take hits. We have Trailblaze for super effective damage, I guess. I don't know. I was kind of running out of time there, but that's a funny little trainer card. I don't know. My opponent's team is kind of throwing me. It's kind of sending me. Let's see what they lead with. They do lead Magnezone, which is fine for my Flutter Mane lead. The downside is if they hit me with any move, they're going to break my Sash right away, which is going to have to be fine. I mean, we also have, Scizor, which is specially defensive. All of our Pokemon are kind of not super worried about special attackers. Just going to go ahead and click the Mystical Fire here. We're going to be faster. We're going to get super effective damage. Does a lot of damage too, and we are going to drop their special attack, which is also really important. They actually go Flash Cannon instead of going Volt Switch, so that's pretty good. That does a ton of damage though. They might be like Choice Specs or something. So our Flutter Mane is a little bit of a or might end up being a little bit of a liability. So let's see, this is 150 damage, whereas Shadow Ball is going to be about 120 with Stab. I'm just trying to see, like, I kind of want to click Shadow Ball here. I think it might knock it out, right? I don't want to Terastallize. I'm going to Shadow Ball. Yeah, because I felt like it was pretty likely that they were going to switch. And I wanted to make sure that in the case that they don't switch, if we use Shadow Ball, if it'll still do a good chunk of damage. But yeah, this is pretty good for us. Getting a hit on Marill, or Azumarill rather, is pretty nice, especially if they're going to try to Belly Drum. Yeah, so this Pokemon might not be Assault Vest as it typically is. So let's try to think ahead here. We're going to go Shadow Ball. They're likely going to go Aqua Jet and kill me. I don't think I want to switch anything in, right? I could switch in Scizor and take that Aqua Jet. I'm actually tempted to do that, and then we can like Trailblaze. I'm actually really tempted. Yeah, I might regret this later, but I'm just gonna go ahead and save my Flutter Mane. Flutter Mane's so fast, it's faster, it's naturally faster than all of my opponent's Pokemon. So if we can save it in the back for later, it's possible it can get off a little bit more damage before it goes down. I should take this decently. We have max HP, although we don't take that well. I wonder if that's possibly Choice Scarf. There's a chance we could Terrasilize here, but I feel like I'm kind of weak right now. I'm gonna Trailblaze, okay, they switch, sure. So Trailblaze, I was gonna say, Trailblaze would make us faster than the Azumarill, which means our Bullet Punch would be faster than their Aqua Jet. So they go into this thing. This was kind of my worst nightmare. With one speed boost, I don't think I'm faster than them. I think I just have to go Thief here, because they're probably gonna like substitute or set up or something like that. I am faster, which is actually great. Okay, and they Will-O-Wisp. Okay, interesting. So they might be bulky, I guess? I wonder what set they're running, though, because, like, usually they run Unburden, which means they run, like... I don't get my Citrus Berry. That's actually kind of bad. Yikes. I don't like where this is going. I really don't know if I can stay in. I'm gonna Thief again, though, just... because if they substitute, we might break the sub. They also might Terrasilize, which I don't like. Drifblim is surprisingly scary. Like, when I would used to run, like, almost every team with Skeledirge on it, I just didn't care about Drifblim at all. Like, I could just laugh at it. But now that I don't have Skeledirge, it's kind of scary, the potential that it has. They do eat their berry, which is going to proc their Unburden. Presumably, if they have that. Strength Sap. Oh, that's really annoying, but also, I actually just don't care that much about that. So, Strength Sap, Will-O-Wisp. I guess it's possible they could still have a double team, or minimize and whatever the other move is, Baton Pass. That's still possible, but I think I'm just going to switch into... So they already ate their berry, so we're not going to steal anything from them. I'm just going to go into Flutter Mane and hope they don't attack me. Even if they do, though, I can just go right into my Moth and just kind of go from there. So yeah, this is kind of my best hope. I hope they just go Strength Sap again. That'd be perfect if they do. Oh, they do go Hex. Good play on their part. So that's looking like they don't have Minimize, so that's pretty good for us. So now this thing is a lot less scary than we might have thought, because now I can just go into this. Hex won't do that much damage because they cannot burn me. I wonder what their last move is. Famous last words, right? And then we have the Terra Grass for their Azumarill. So my goal here is to basically Iron Moth can, depending on what their last move is, Iron Moth might be able to single-handedly just shut down my opponent's team. Now, importantly, they also have not Terrastalized yet. So that's another thing we have to be aware of. Like, we're going to go for a move, and then they're going to Terrastalize and kind of throw us off. It could be Terra Water Magnezone. It could be Terra, like, Fire Azumarill. But they are switching here, which I don't think is a great play on their part, because even if they go into Azumarill, it's going to take damage. And if they go into this, it's dead. Wow. Okay, that's huge, actually. That's perfect. If we get a special attack boost... Okay, we don't, but that is perfect for us because I was kind of scared of this Magnezone coming in later, and then we're gonna click Fiery Dance against it, and then they like Terra Water, and then they just kind of like shut us down. So I was really terrified of that, but this ends up working out really well for us. They go into Azumarill. We're definitely gonna Terrasilize here. However, the big question is what move do we go for? I think we go Sludge Wave because it's Stab. I'd love to go Discharge. I mean, they're both super effective. I guess if they're like Terra Fire, because I don't know how common Terra Fire is on Azumarill. I just feel like I've seen it a couple times. If they happen to be Terra Fire, like both of our moves are still neutral against it, but Sludge Wave will do more damage. So we'll see what happens here. If they make a prediction and go Play Rough, we might die. I've had it happen to me where I'm Terra Grass on Iron Moth, and then an Azumarill hits Play Rough on me and just obliterates me. So we're kind of banking on this Sludge Wave to do a lot. It would have been really, really nice if that Fiery Dance had done a lot of damage. Or sorry, if that Fiery Dance had gotten us the special attack boost, then we'd be in a really good position right now. We'll see what happens though. Hopefully they just go, they made kind of a smart play. I was gonna say hopefully they just go, oh, well, duh. I was just so sure that my opponent was gonna Terrastalize there. So I was kind of like in my head thinking that they were gonna live that hit and then, you know, do something, but they didn't. So that's all that matters, right? The big problem here though is now we are no longer a fire type, so my opponent can burn me, which is actually really annoying. I kind of wonder if I just go into Scizor and let it die. They still have not Terrastalized. Oh, this is kind of annoying. I'm gonna discharge first, just see what happens. They just cancel. Okay, good. Yeah, that was one of those situations where I was just kind of like over worrying, and then my opponent's just like, okay, GG. But I don't know. Depending on, like I said, depending on their last move, they still had not Terrastalized. It's possible that they could have taken on my Iron Moth. I was actually scared there, but again, maybe I was just overthinking it. So that was a fun game. You know, I definitely was more afraid of those things than I should have been, I guess, but well played. GG. Go to the next. Interesting team. I noticed that Talonflame right away. I also see that Iron Hands, which is a Pokemon you don't typically see in singles. What about Palafin here? That's always the question. I do want to bring Palafin. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but I honestly think I will bring it here. It has a fine matchup against everything except that Iron Hands. Beyond that, Palafin's going to struggle with Iron Hands for sure. Maybe Dragonite, because Dragonite's pretty scary. Although I do have Ice Punch, but it's gonna Terrastalize, right? So what's gonna help me against those two Pokemon? I think Flutter Mane's pretty decent against those. And then we're just gonna want something that we can switch into, which might just be Hydreigon. Hydreigon's also good in general. Its dark type moves will hit pretty hard, hit most of their Pokemon pretty hard. There's also the option of Grimmsnarl. They have a lot of physical attackers. Grimmsnarl might be able to shut some of them down, but I also don't love that. It's an option. I don't think I want Scizor. It's between Hydreigon and Grimmsnarl here. What about Moth? Moth, they have so many strong physical attackers that I'm a little afraid to bring Moth. I'm just gonna go ahead and bring Hydreigon. We might regret that because my team is just really offensive. We might have benefited from, actually, yeah, we might have benefited from having that Grimmsnarl, but we'll see how it goes. What's happening here? Oh, that was weird. Oh, I like their getup, their fit. They do lead Iron Hands, which I'm not too surprised by. I kind of expected that. And let's go ahead and flip turn because I am faster. I just hope they don't like fake out or something. Flip turn. Now the question is, what do we flip turn into, right? That does pretty good damage. So if they go, I mean, they're gonna go for an electric type move, right? I don't think it's great to go into Hydreigon. I mean, we could Earth Power, but then if they Terrastalize, look how cool that looks, by the way. I think I'm gonna Hydreigon. Seems kind of dumb. We should resist whatever move they were gonna go for, presumably, unless if they go for the fighting move. I mean, GG. So, oh, they go Swords Dance. I don't think Iron Hands has priority, right? I could check, but I'm just gonna click Earth Power here. So that's the awkward thing. So usually Terra Steel on Hydreigon is great, but the one awkward thing, oh wow, they don't Terrastalize. That does a lot of damage. All right, perfect. We're probably dead here, don't get me wrong, but oh, it's Drain Punch, of course, so that's gonna heal them right back. Okay, pretty awkward. But anyways, what I was saying here is, what was I saying? The one awkward thing about Terra Steel on Hydreigon is that both Dark and Steel are weak to fighting, so even if you Terrastalize, you're still gonna be weak to fighting type moves. I think I can go into this and Moonblast. Earth Power did a good chunk. I think this should be good, right? Because the special attack of Flutter Mane is 187. Special attack of, oh, it's a higher special attack stat. Oh no. but this is super effective with stab, so I think I just go into this, and if worst case scenario, if they do survive this Moonblast, I have Focus Sash. But, I mean, we're already kind of off to a rough start here. I probably should have just gone Palafin. It's also possible I go Psyshock, because it's possible... No, well, they're not Assault Vest, because they Swords Danced. So I just Moonblast here. Silence. Please die. Yes, okay, cool. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I kind of wonder if I should have gone Palafin, though, and just knocked them out with, like, a Jet Punch or Flip Turn, because then that lets me kill the... Well, I guess if I knock them out with Flip Turn, I'm in the same situation, which is that I have my Flutter Mane against them. Okay, they go Talonflame. I don't know what this thing is going to do. I know in doubles, you know, it's kind of a support Pokemon. In singles, though, I'm just not sure. I could Terra and go Shadow Ball just to get off a lot of damage. Could switch in Palafin, but if they go like Will-O-Wisp, that's awful. I'm really, really tempted to switch in Palafin. But if they're like Gale Wings with Brave Bird, that's also bad. I'm really tempted to switch there. No, I'm just going to stay in Shadow Ball without Terrastalizing. Now that... Okay, Brave Bird. I kind of expected this. I might kill them, though, now, because we do have the Sash. I was going to say, though, now that Iron Hands is gone, I think Palafin can 1v1 just about anything with the right move. Oh, we don't kill them there. Wow. Huh. This is going to be a really risky play, but I'm going to go into Palafin, hoping they knock themselves out with Brave Bird. This is a really risky play, though, because we're just taking needless damage right here. But I think the possibility of preserving my Flutter Mane is good. That does so much damage. All right. If their last Pokemon's Garganacl, we rejoice because we likely win. If their last Pokemon's Dragonite, we cry because it's going to give us a really hard time. It is. Why wouldn't it be Dragonite, right? Okay. So we got to make some predictions here. Are they going to Extreme Speed? I do think they are. If they don't, I think we're just in this position anyway. Like, you know, if they don't Extreme Speed, like, okay, you know, what else can we do? Because if we stay in and go Ice Punch there, then they Extreme Speed, we're dead. You know, it's just... If they Extreme Speed here, we're happy. Okay, they do Terrastalize, which is not surprising. If they Extreme Speed, we're immune to it. We get to get off some damage, and then my Palafin can come in and possibly knock it out. Possibly. Also, Dragonites are typically bulky these days. They do Extreme Speed. That's perfect. If they're Choice Banded, we actually just win the game now. But I'm not going to expect them to be Choice Banded. Let's go Moonblast. So they can't hit us with priority, so we at least get some damage on this. They don't take that well at all. Get off the Earthquake. Okay. Moment of truth. Let's see how good this Palafin is. I'm going to Terrastalize and go for the Choice Banded Terra Water Boosted Jet Punch because well, never mind. I think I'm dead, right? Dang it. Yeah, I think I'm dead because Extreme Speed always has more priority than moves like Jet Punch, right? This move always goes first unless you're up against the #1 ranked Pokemon with Extreme Speed. I'm gonna try it because I might as well. I do think there's actually a chance that if they don't kill us here, which they're about to, I think that I knock them out with, you know, Terra Water Boosted, Choice Banded, Adamant Natured, Jet Punch. Coming off a 165 base attack stat. They Extreme Speed. Good games, opponent. Good games. That was a game where I was kind of behind for the whole match, and you know there was a glimmer of hope at the end right there. But just taking all that damage from Brave Bird just meant that I could not live in Extreme Speed. Plus they're Terra Normal, so they're going to get that extra damage boost anyway. So good plays by my opponent. Makes a lot of sense there. Yeah, I think. That was a fun one. That was an interesting one. I'm just trying to think back to the other turns to see if there was anything I could have done differently to kind of, you know, somehow win this match. But I think I could have played smarter with that Iron Hands. But at least we got to show off Palafin. Well, he didn't really do anything, but he got off some damage on the Iron Hands. But Yeah, that was fun. I like Palafin, and it's shiny, so it's even better. Let's go to the next game. Alright, we look at that Dondozo. We hate it. Question number 1, Palafin. The answer, absolutely not. They have one Pokemon that's weak to, well, it's weak to Ice Punch. I mean, it'll do a lot of damage against Flutter Mane, but everything else resists it. And yeah, we don't want to do that. So no Palafin, unfortunately. I do love me some Palafin though. Moth looks good. Let's see, what are their threats? Obviously Dragonite, you always want to be aware of that. They have Dondozo, which is very annoying. And we don't really have too many Pokemon that are like super great against it, so it's possible they bring it. Baxcalibur is always a threat. I mean, all their Pokemon are just good Pokemon, so that's definitely something we've got to keep in mind. Scizor is nice here. I kind of wonder if they won't bring Flutter Mane simply because we have Scizor. I actually do want to bring Scizor here. It seems decent against almost everything. The big issue here, I think, is going to be that Dragonite though. So I like Flutter Mane. I kind of wonder if we want to preserve that Focus Sash, so not lead with it. And then, I mean, Grimmsnarl's decent at rendering some of their Pokemon useless by tricking, but I think it's gonna be Moth, and I'm leading with it. I might regret that. Actually, yeah, I shouldn't have done that, because now I'm gonna get that booster energy right away. And there's no guarantee that I'm gonna, you know, have a great matchup turn 1, so this might have been a bad play for me. Although if they lead with something like Meowscarada, that can be cool. If they lead with Iron Bundle, they lead Baxcalibur. Okay. They're gonna have Earthquake. They're unlikely to go for their Ice-type moves. Huh. We cannot hit this thing with a Fire-type move. So I guess the question is, do we let our Moth go down turn 1? I don't love that prospect. What about for Scizor's Terra Water? They don't really have too many Fire-type moves, if any at all. I mean, they have Flutter Mane, but I think it's possible I'm just going to Terrastallize here. And Gleam is nice. I'm going to Sludge Wave. Well, this is actually really bad if they Terra Ground. But it's possible they won't Terra right away. Yeah, we're Terrastallizing to predict the Earthquake. Yeah, that was a bad lead for me. I should not have led with that. But this works out really well for us. Well, never mind. They Earthquake. But now, of course, we are going to be weak to their Ice-type move. I am going to Gleam now, because if they don't Terrastallize, this will do more damage. And now that they know about the Sludge Wave, they might... Oh. Well, there goes our bulk. That shows our bulk right there. Oh wow, this thing is so tanky. It's clear that this is Assault Vest. I might regret this, but I'm gonna try to preserve Moth here. I don't know what the most common Terra type for Assault Vest Baxcalibur is. I'm hoping it's just Ground, so I can maybe get off a Bullet Punch here. They go Shard. Definitely take that well. I don't think there's a reason to not Bullet Punch, right? I'm just going to go for it. Unless if they're Terra Electric, that's a worst case scenario. They do switch now, though, which is good because it gives us more information. And if we have to just switch in our Moth later just to die, that's fine. They go into Dondozo. See how much this does. Absolutely nothing. Oh, God, that's annoying. I can Trailblaze, but I don't think that's going to do much damage. I think I just have to go into this. Which sucks, because this is the thing that would do the most damage to Dondozo. I don't think I want to lose Scizor, though, right? I could Trailblaze. They're just going to have Rest, though, right? I don't even think Trailblaze is going to do that much damage. I'm going to go for it, just see what happens. They still have not Terrastallized. Yeah, it doesn't do that much. But this'll get us closer to losing our Berry. And then we can maybe steal their item, which I wouldn't be surprised if they have just like Chesto Berry with Rest. So that might not be the biggest deal if we steal their item, but it's still something, I guess. Gonna Thief now. I kind of feel like we need Scizor though. So we probably shouldn't be letting it take this much damage, so we don't have any more recovery for it. Oh, duh. I'm so dumb. I know they have Rocky Helmet. Okay. So now they don't have Rocky Helmet for what it's worth. So they have Fissure, Avalanche. Don't really know what the other moves are. I'm so dumb. I can't believe I forgot that. If they're just going to Fissure, do I just switch here? I don't think they're going to Fissure again. I'm switching. Whatever. It's better than just staying in here and slowly dying, right? If they Fissure and miss, that's perfect for us. They rest. Okay. So they probably have Rest Talk. Rest and Sleep Talk. Avalanche and Fissure. So annoying. I do not have any grass moves, unfortunately, but I do have Discharge. I could... Well, never mind. I was going to say I could Fiery Dance just to get a potential special attack boost, but of course, they are unaware, likely. Now, if they go back Excalibur here, there's a chance they get paralyzed. Come on, come on! Nope. Oh! Oh, that's great. I mean... Do I save Moth again? It's a prediction game. If they don't click Ice Shard and I click a move here, they could die. Their thing is so bulky, though. Knowing 2 of their 3 Pokemon, I think it's fine to just go into Scizor here. Because if they Ice Shard, I take it really well, and then I might be able to knock them out. If they Earthquake, I'm probably dead. Well, I guess it doesn't matter, right? Okay, okay. Just gonna Bullet Punch. Huh. Yeah, I think I have to Bullet Punch here. They do switch, probably back to Dondozo. What else can I do? They are asleep. Back into Moth. So annoying. They're gonna rest or sleep talk, or will they wake up here? I don't remember. Hopefully they sleep talk Fissure and miss, or sleep talk rest or something. Okay. What else can you do there? Now I think I might have to go into Flutter Mane. Now this is a situation where if I had the Terra Ghost type, it would help me because I could get a lot of damage. But, I mean, there's nothing else I can do here. It would be great to preserve my Focus Sash, but I don't think there's any way I can. Special defense drop? Nope. Oh, they're still asleep. I'm happy about that, but what else can you do here? They're gonna click Fissure and it's gonna land. Oh, perfect. They click Rest. All right. Oh, sorry about my battery. I didn't realize that. I'll charge it. Come on, critical hit. I deserve it because they're playing Dondozo. They're playing Rest Talk Dondozo. Special defense drop. And what else can you do here, right? Moonblast would do more damage, and Shadow Ball's doing a good chunk of damage already to them. Should I just start switching over to clicking Moonblast? I'm just so tempted by the possibility of Shadow Ball dropping their special defense, but it might not matter at this point. I think I just gotta, yeah, hope that Moonblast is enough to take them down. Okay, there we go, there we go. So we just hope they click Rest with their Sleep Talk. If they click Avalanche, we will survive, but then that's horrible for us because they have that Ice Shard. Perfect. Yes, you deserve this. Now Moonblast hopefully takes them down. They don't have a good switch in. If they go back Excalibur, that's I mean, as good as it is. We just gotta hope if they go back Excalibur that they get fully paralyzed again, but obviously Moonblast will knock them out at that point. Unless they go into something else here, but if they do, then Scizor should beat back Excalibur 1v1, although they still have not terastallized. Meowscarada, okay. They might Terra here. If they're like Terra Grass, what else would they be? Terra Dark? Terra Fairy? Or do they just rely on Protean alone? I'm wondering if they're Terra Grass, do I just Mystical Fire anyway, or do I just Moonblast? I'm gonna Moonblast. See what happens here, everyone. They do Terrastalize. I mean, my Moonblast should just do a lot of damage regardless, right? They are Terra Dark. You know what? They're not gonna expect me to be Focus Sash. So this could be great. Sucker Punch, I will live regardless, unless they're Focus Sash themselves. Oh, it doesn't even take me to my Sash, that's funny. Clean one-hit KO, absolutely clean. It was a critical hit, I highly doubt that mattered. I mean, Flutter Mane is such a strong Pokemon. This battle's turning around, everyone. I was pretty certain I was going to be losing once they had that Dondozo going, but I think we might win this one. They get fully paralyzed here, they're dead. I think regardless, I should be winning this game though, because I still have that super effective Bullet Punch, and they can no longer Terrastalize to you know, resist it anymore. So even if they're like Terra Electric, there's no way they can stop that. So yeah, they do knock me out with Ice Shard, of course. But like I said, I should be able to knock them out with the Bullet Punch. And that's what I'm going to go for. It's going to be super effective. We know they're bulky, but what else can you do, right? Bullet Punch. I love Scizor. And now I love it even more. Beautiful. Oh god, Dondozo. Oh, god, that Pokemon. I'm starting to... This game has made me hate Dondozo even more. I think before this, I would say my most hated Pokemon in Battle Stadium singles right now is Clodsire. Dondozo's moving up there, though. Alright, that was a fun one. Let's go ahead and do another one. Last battle of the day. Oh god, I spoke too soon, everyone. I said Clodsire is my most hated Pokemon, and the universe materialized this Clodsire team. Alright. They also have Quaquaval, who you don't typically see. I love me some Palafin here, but also they have a few Pokemon that resist it. Also the bulky Pokemon that would take super effective damage normally, Clodsire and Skeledirge. I'm not super confident about my matchup there, just because they could be Water Absorb on Clodsire. I'm very tempted to bring it though. I like Hydreigon, but Choice Scarf against all these bulky Pokemon is a liability. I think once again I do like Iron Moth. I think I like Iron Moth a good amount here. So I'm going to bring Moth. I really do want to bring Palafin. And then I think I just bring Flutter Mane. See how this goes, everyone. Hope it's not too much of a train wreck. Yeah, I'm scared. Marty, I'm scared. But it's our last battle of the game, of the day, of the video, whatever. Definitely want to show off some more Palafin. It looks like they're going to have a shiny Quaquaval, so spoiler alert. If they bring it, that is. Of course, you don't typically see Quaquaval. They lead Baxcalibur. I want to say I'm faster than it. Let me see if I can check that real quick. Oh no, do I have time, everyone? Opening Pokemon Showdown. Baxcalibur, where are you? Oh wait, that's not gonna help. Oh god. Alright, well I couldn't figure it out. I think I just hard switch here. Oh, this is actually bad, isn't it? It's actually bad. Because what are they gonna go for? They're not gonna go for an ice type move, right? Do I just click Ice Punch? No, I can't. Oh no. And if Flutter Mane's Sash gets broken, then unless they don't have Ice Shard, this is like our only hope. Yikes. Yeah, Baxcalibur is a big threat if you couldn't tell. I don't know, maybe they'll Dragon Dance. They do Terrastalize. I guess that's a good thing, just getting it out of the way right now. Thing is, Iron Moth and actually none of my Pokemon have a great matchup against Baxcalibur. So yeah, this thing is just a nightmare. See what happens here. Terra Electric, sure. Take me down to my Sash. If they don't have Ice Shard, which I don't think they do, I mean, they very well could. Just gonna click Moonblast because it does most damage. Perfect, perfect. At least we get off some damage before going down. Yeah, so this is obviously not... Oh, wow, okay. This is actually, honestly, this is kind of a bad play on my opponent's part. They could set up as much as they want, but once we go into Palafin, we have the Choice Banded Jet Punch, and now they don't resist our moves anymore. So yeah, I mean, if they had kept going for Dragon Dance, it would have been dumb. Well, yeah, there was no reason for them to do that, but yeah, setting up a Dragon Dance, I don't think that really matters for them. They probably should have just killed my Flutter Mane when they had the chance, or sooner, I mean. So they're at +1. I honestly, there's a chance we still outspeed them. No, actually, the funny thing is, I think they barely outspeed me. But anyways, let's go back into my Palafin here, and we are going to threaten to knock them out here with the Jet Punch. I think, let's take a look at their team again. It's awesome, by the way. I love that. Looking at their team, if they brought Quaquaval, then Terra Grass is going to be nice on the Iron Moth. I think we knocked them out anyway. I'm going to Jet Punch. They do withdraw, so we're going to hit something here. Corviknight. Oh, interesting. And it's going to have Rocky Helmet. See how much it does, though. We are Choice Banded. Palafin Hero Form has like 165 attack. Oh, it's a crit. I was like, what? There's the Rocky Helmet, but this is just going to force me to just Terra Jet Punch, which should knock them out. That puts me in a good spot. Yeah, knowing it was going to do that much damage, now I think I just do this. When you have the option to just knock out Corviknight like this, I just think you take it. Like, otherwise I switch into Iron Moth, and yeah, Iron Moth has a good matchup against Corviknight, but then, you know, they have an opportunity to like keep their Corviknight alive somehow, so I just don't want to play around like that. Perfect. And now we know that Palafin destroys their Baxcalibur, and depending on who their last one is, we might be able to destroy that too. If their last one's Skeletor, we probably win the game because they can't Terrasilize it, so it's going to be a fire type. If it's Clodsire, we're not too sure. What? They go back into Baxcalibur? I mean, this thing is dead, right? They're electric now. They don't resist this. Oh, yes! I wonder if their last one actually was Skeletor. That's awesome. Good game. So I started that battle afraid of the Baxcalibur, feeling like that thing could single-handedly destroy my team. And my beautiful Pokemon pulled through, my beautiful shiny Pokemon for that matter. And I love how we got to finish this battle with basically a Palafin sweep. Like, Palafin was looking like it was about to just sweep through their team single-handedly. I know it didn't get the chance to, but yeah, that was a fun one. Let's pull up the team again and go over some closing thoughts. So that was a really fun one. I'm really happy that I got to show off a lot of these lesser known or lesser used Pokemon, really, and show off different sets for even Pokemon that are typically used. So, you know, almost everyone got to shine in this battle. Almost everyone, but I mean, Iron Moth is still amazing. Flutter Mane's still amazing. Palafin looked really good there. It felt really good. Even the games where I brought it, it did not feel like a liability. So I think there's a place for Palafin in this meta, and if you want to try out this team and maybe offer suggestions to me on ways you could improve it, let me know. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate all the support. Let me know what you thought about the team in the comments. Let me know how your month is going so far. We are almost in March. Also, Pokemon Day is just around the corner next week, so let me know what your expectations and hopes are for the Pokemon Day announcement on next Monday. So looking forward to all that. Hope you're having a great day. I'll talk to you next time.